Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different video and I'm going to be talking about epilepsy. And the reason I'm going to be talking about epilepsy is that I have epilepsy and I often get people like asking me what is it, what causes it, or are flashing lights going to set you off. So today I'm going to be telling a little bit about moi and just about how my epilepsy came about. So my first seizure was in 2015, so it wasn't that long ago, and I never had a seizure in my life at all. I was walking home with a group of friends and they said I just dropped to the floor and I started shaking, and then I was rushed to hospital. I had a brain scan, and it was all fine, and they didn't know what caused the seizure, so I was at home. The following day I was actually admitted into hospital as they thought I had meningitis, but after that the seizures still continued, so I was referred to a neurologist, and this neurologist said, you know, it's epilepsy, and I didn't even understand what that was. I was just like, what? What you want about? But the actual definition of epilepsy is a neurological disorder marked by sudden recurrent episodes of loss of consciousness or convulsions associated with electrical activity in the brain. And if you're sat there like, wow, that was exactly my reaction. But basically, the way I see it is that all the neurons in my brain are like having a little party out there, and sometimes it gets a little bit out of control, and so I have a seizure. And there are actually, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there is around 24 different types of seizures. I have 2 of those. So I have a tonic-clonic, which is the one everyone thinks about, where I'm on the floor shaking about. Yeah, it's great. Not. I also have absence seizures. So absence seizures are more commonly in children. So it will look like I'm daydreaming, maybe like this. Yeah, a bit creepy. But my lips also go, so they're going like that. And that is called an absence seizure. So I went to this neurologist and she said, okay, we're going to put you on some medication. So I was first put on lamotrigine, and it was okay for the first 2 days. And then I noticed a rash starting on my chest and on my legs. And I went to the doctor. She went, I'm going to ring you every hour to make sure that this rash isn't spreading. I went home and this rash was peeling. My skin was peeling off. I rang the doctor and she said, I am calling an ambulance, you need to go to hospital. As she thought I had Stevens-Johnson syndrome, which is a very rare side effect. And I had to put special cream on my skin, I had to take these tablets, and every single day I had to go back up to the hospital for the doctors to check it. And obviously I had to, you know, come up with the lamotrigine. So the next medication that the neurologist tried me on was something called Keppra. And within 4 days of that, I started getting the rash. But this time the rash was actually around here, so it was all in my eyes. It was disgusting. Honestly, I looked hideous. I went out thinking, oh my god, everyone is going to be staring at me. Kill me now. But obviously I had to come off that. Now the next medication that she tried me on is carbamazepine, and I have been on this medication now for about 2 years, and it's done pretty well. For about a year I had no seizures and it was absolutely fantastic. And then a very, very stupid GP decided to put me on another medication. and this medication reacted with the carbamazepine extremely badly. I had 23 seizures in 3 days, and the last one I had, I woke up and I couldn't move. I couldn't feel the left side of my body. I couldn't move the left side of my body at all. I had left-sided paralysis. And eventually I started beginning to walk again, but I couldn't feel anything for about 6 months. And so I was bumping into things, I was hitting things, and I couldn't feel it. So I'd like wake up and I'd have bruises on me. I was like, oh my gosh, like what's happened? Like, has a monster come and attacked me in the night? But thankfully it started to come back. Now I can, you know, do that, and ow, it hurts. But it does have side effects. So in the mornings I have blurred vision to the point where sometimes I'm physically sick because it's like the world is spinning around me, and it is horrendous. I get headaches, I feel nauseous with it, but the way I see it is that it helps to a certain extent. I still have tonic-clonic seizures, about 1 every couple of months. I have absent seizures every day. So my new neurologist has added clobazam, which is another little drug, which is an add-on drug. So I am praying to the Lord that it works. As obviously when you have epilepsy you can't drive, so when I see all my friends driving about, I'm just like, oh, okay then. Because I feel absolutely horrendous because I can't drive. I have to take public transport everywhere, and it is frustrating. I think the moment that I realised just how serious the epilepsy was when I was on a train. It was a very packed train from London, and if anyone's got a train from London in rush hour, you will know what I mean. You cannot breathe. And I got off the train as it was too hot, so I was going to wait for the next train. And the next minute I know is that there are paramedics around me, and I didn't know what happened. I was very scared. I was on the side of a platform, and I was very, very scared. So I was put on oxygen, and the paramedic said that I was having absent seizures, and this was the first time that I started having absent seizures. So obviously I was a bit concerned. The paramedics took me to the ambulance, and I then had 2 tonic-clonic seizures, and the paramedics were very worried again as I was continuously convulsing, and my oxygen levels were still like around 80%, and I mean they should be like above 94, so obviously they're very, very low. So I was rushed into resus, which is where very critical care patients are took, and it was in there where I realised just how serious it is. This could kill me, and I think from then on I'm very cautious where I go. When I first started having seizures, my mum was like, oh, you can't go out by yourself, you can't take the dog for a walk, you can't have a bath, you can't have a shower. And I was like, no, because I know some people who let illnesses define them, and I didn't want epilepsy to define me. I was gonna beat it up the arse, because I'm still going to do the things that I love. I'm still going to do the normal things that I do every single day. I just have to be more careful about it. I think the thing that not a lot of people know is something called SUDEP. So I think it's sudden unexpected death in epilepsy. And this is actually one of the biggest killers in epilepsy. Around 600 people in the UK alone die from it. And it is something that's not really spoken about much. I personally know someone who's died from it, and it's very, very heartbreaking. But obviously you don't want to be going around telling like your family, oh yeah, by the way, I have a high chance of dying because of this epilepsy. You know, it's not something that really comes across in dinner table conversation. But I think with the epilepsy, hopefully it be controlled, but if it's not, I'll just live with it. Every seizure which comes, I just deal with it. You know, it's embarrassing, you know. You might wet yourself. A wee bit of embarrassing. But you do deal with it, and I deal with the side effects of it. I deal with the stigma of it. And at the end of the day, hopefully one day I will beat it. And obviously epilepsy, one of the things I get asked is, can you go near bright lights? And I'm like, yes I can actually, because only 5% of people with epilepsy will be affected by flashing lights. Not every single person with epilepsy will have a seizure if there are flashing lights. It is only a very small minority. So maybe ask a person, are you affected by flashing lights? But don't assume that they are. You know, I can go to a nightclub still. I can go near flashing lights. Can't drink alcohol, but I can still go. But if anyone has any questions about epilepsy, you know, don't be afraid to ask me or ask anyone you know with epilepsy, or research it, because it's one of those disorders that do affect your life, and the more people that know about it, the better. So, yeah, thank you. And if anyone else out there who's watching this has epilepsy, love.